there, card folk. Speed Robo here, and welcome to this week's episode of Draft Duel with Legacy's Allure. Joining me, commentating today, as usual, is Dex. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Good to see you folks turning up to see the next draft duel. I'm very excited for this one because we've got a veteran player on our hands. Well, we've got two veteran players, but Jacob, Stupid Servant, has not played in quite a while, and I am excited to see what he's got in this new meta.
I agree. It is very exciting to see him back drafting with an Arengard list down on the red side and Mpire up with an Arengard list on the blue side, looking like an Aurelia mirror match.
Yeah, we've got an Aurelia mirror match today. And Jacob, it looks like he's going full on into the Spellcasters. He's got Grand Wizard as his first card. Like, what the heck? That's just such a cool way to start the game, don't you think?
I completely agree. The Spellcaster build for Arengard is one of my personal favorites. Mpire, seeing this, has immediately drafted his Spellbreaker. This is a card that's going to grant his units magic resist, able to deflect the damage from these spells.
Yeah, and also he can use his Quiet ability to silence a card, and silencing a card prevents it from using its active abilities, which is perfect to use on that Grand Wizard.
I agree. And it could be an issue. Silence, I genuinely see as being an issue for Jacob in this matchup. In his kingdom, he only brought a single priest to remove debuffs. Of course he's going to draft it, but once that silence goes down, if he wants to use that card, that means he won't be healing at all during the round.
Yeah, absolutely. And that silence can go down on Aurelia too. It can go on Grand Wizard. It could be pretty devastating. Maybe Frost Maiden if that gets drafted. Yeah, there's no healing going on if he's just getting rid of that silence. So maybe he would have been better to bring another priest. But we'll see. I'm sure he's got something good up his sleeve.
Yeah, I'm seeing as an immediate way to deal with this Spellbreaker of grabbing a Knight or a Catapult, putting it directly on the E2 Hex, and buffing it with Tactician to reach that Spellbreaker.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Might be able to get the job done. Yeah.
It looks like Mpire is going with some Knights this game. What do we think of that?
I think the Knight build of Arengard is incredibly solid. It's a list that's really hard to mess up, even if you aren't really sure what you're doing. Not to say that Mpire is a beginner at all, but for any players who are new to the game watching and trying to build your first kingdom, I would say take a look at trying to build a Knight-based Arengard list. It's straightforward, it's fun, it's flashy, solid list for anyone just starting.
See, this is actually one of my favorite strategies to use in Arengard. And I think although we're seeing an Aurelia mirror match here, I think we're going to see two very different Aurelia builds. So what I think Mpire is going for is sort of synergy with his Knight's build. He's going to turn Aurelia into a Knight of her own using Sun's Fervor, which can give her charging and imbued. This means you basically just get an imbued Knight if you just throw on some weapons like Broadsword, which he's got in his kingdom. Suddenly Aurelia's charging, dealing 5 damage, and she's backed up by all these other Knights and the Heavy Knight. 3 movement charging, doesn't get much better than that. Solar Aegis at the ready to stop them being attacked.
I completely agree with that analysis. I think the, as we like to call in the community, the Heavy Knight Aurelia build for Aurelia is arguably stronger than Spellcaster support, but that is not to mean that the Sunstrike from downtown strategy with Aurelia is bad by any means, especially with this Izabek staff to give +1 spell power. That means that all of those Sunstrikes are going to be substantially stronger.
Yeah, and it looks like that might be the build that Jacob is going to go for today. He's got all 3 strong Sunstrikes in his kingdom. He's just absolutely ready with it. What is notable, though, is he hasn't got any mana items other than Crystal Sword. Maybe he's just... Oh, no, he has. He's got Arcane Stone. My mistake.
I was just about to say, well, what about Arcane Stone,
Yeah.
actually? Let's take a look at that.
He's ready to just sit back with Aurelia, deal pip damage maybe with these crossbowmen, and just magic damage all over the board, which is quite a good counter to these knights, given they have armor.
Yes. One thing I do want to point out is that Mpire right now is just grabbing a bunch of cards for actions. And I don't know if that's actually the smartest strategy. Jacob has a Frost Maiden down on his side of the board, and he can use that to clear out all these 2 health units fairly cleanly with a well-placed Frost Nova.
Yeah, absolutely. Frost Maiden is just really solid. 2 magic damage on target Triad. It's... I don't know what to say. It's really good. You can target so many things with it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And Frost Maiden's also very good with the Sunstrike build. Her ability to cheaply, at long range, deal 1 damage and slow down an enemy unit means that it's going to be vulnerable to getting Sunstriked.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Halberdier. I haven't seen this card in a long time.
I really like
3
it.
damage. Yeah, no, that's fantastic right now.
You know how you counter charging? Steadfast. It's that simple.
Yeah.
He's done it. Those knights aren't getting in like anywhere near that thing.
No, I will say one thing that I've always liked about Jacob's plays in his entire history is that he really likes going for the clean solutions, and I very respect that. He's just like, I see Knight Steadfast card.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just makes sense. And one thing I have noticed about Jacob is he likes his defensive playstyles. I actually think we might see a relatively defensive game today, given Empire's taken his longbow archer, and Jacob's just gone all-out defense. I think Jacob, though, with the Grand Wizard, might have the upper hand if they're playing that game. Empire's just going to have to be that little bit more aggressive with his list to deal that kind of damage.
I agree. I think today, instead of seeing an explosive, everybody rumbling in the middle type of game, we're going to see a much more tactical, withheld game where players are trying to bait each other into giving up a little bit of advantage, and then that tiny loss snowballs into victory.
Yeah.
That's what I'm expecting to see here.
And 2 very talented players like these guys, they're going to know exactly what they're doing. They're just going to be... It's going to be like watching a dance, I'm telling you that already.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're seeing Jacob's Aurelia build a bit more now, and he's got the expected Isabek Staff and Arcane Stone, and Sunstrike 2, so he's going to be dealing 3 damage with that +1 spell power.
Yep, 3 damage for 2 mana, very good. One thing I do want to point out is that Jacob has already drafted his Demon Tooth Dagger, which I think is really smart. It's a very good get off me tool for Aurelia. If any flanker comes near her for free, she can just make it get off her and then Sunstrike it to death.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that would be a good idea. Ooh, Royal Griffin. I really like this pick by Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
And here's the reason. He's already got 2 Tacticians behind him. And Tactician is one of the best cards to use in conjunction with Royal Griffin. Because it can give +1 movement or +1 power or pathing, right? Don't need pathing for Royal Griffin, it's got flying already. But +1 movement on this thing, suddenly you've got something with 4 movement and then another action. Goes straight into the back line, just wherever it wants, makes an attack. Next round, tactics on it again, +1 power. You've got a 4 power Royal Griffin that could make 2 attacks in 1 turn. It's straight up good, isn't it?
I completely agree, and just, I mean, Royal Griffin to me is one of those, that's cool. That's cool.
Wow!
Dude, I straight up love it, because Jacob's going first, so even if the Heavy Knight goes H5, he just shield bearers.
It doesn't even matter, because, like, this is just... It's solid.
What a power move.
3 range, right? So he's targeting this entire sector of the map. That's like a quarter of the board control, already threatening something right in the center.
That's mean.
The one thing I would worry about is exactly this. Heavy Knight
But it
right
doesn't
down.
matter because he has the shield bearer. He just shield bearers his catapult, and he's fine.
And you know what? There's another way to deal with it. If he gives Aurelia Solar Aegis, he's the attacker. He's going first. Just Solar Aegis on the catapult. It's a really cool placement.
Yeah, wow. That, oh my gosh. Catapult to front line. The cojones.
It's
I
cool.
just can't
It's
believe
really
it.
cool. And what's really interesting about this draft, right, is what Empire's doing. It's sort of becoming a bit lackluster with these weird, wacky plays that Jacob's making, because he's got all these charge units on the right. He's got all these ranged units on the left. It doesn't really make sense. And that's just down to Jacob doing weird stuff.
He's just doing Jacob things, and it's working, man. I don't know.
And an angel.
It's just, okay, let's go.
Wow.
Yeah, he just puts 2 shield on his catapult and come get me.
That's it's just so cool, man.
Wow, I can't even, dude.
And what we haven't really discussed is what we think he's going to be using this Grand Wizard here for. And I think he's waiting to Arcane Blast. I just think he's sitting there, 3 range threat range of 4 power. That's going to hurt a lot.
I think he's just using Grand Wizard as a magic catapult. Most people look at Grand Wizard and they think funny teleport plays, but then you could just be like, but Arcane Blast.
I think it's the way I would use the unit if I used it. I'd grab a Spell Cradle Seraph, +1 cast range on that thing. Suddenly you've got 4 range, 4 power imbued. Who doesn't want that?
Okay, so here's the crazy part. This is a Spellcaster list, and Jacob doesn't have a single Spell Cradle Seraph, and it's still good.
That's just so weird to me. But, it makes sense, I suppose. I think I would have taken Spell Cradle over maybe his Apprentice Wizards, just for that little bit more synergy, But if he doesn't want it, then sure.
This is nutty.
It's insane. And one thing we haven't discussed is something on Empire's side that it's sort of taken for granted these days, but it's actually quite interesting when you look at it. He's taken 2 tacticians. Why is this good? Because this gives you so much agency. Lots of people see tactician, they see a ranged unit, say elite longbow archer. They think, oh, I'll slap on +1 range, +1 power. That's not the optimal way to use these, in my opinion. And I think he knows that. I think he is ready, give +1 movement, pathing, whatever. Just go right through those ranks. Imagine pathing on the knight. He moves the knight here. Yeah. Suddenly it's got pathing to the Grand Wizard. That would be scary.
I mean, immediately what I'm looking at is Tactician to give +1 movement to Skyrain, right?
Yeah, +1 power to the Skyrain Pegasus attack Grand Wizard.
You forgot your Aurelia, dog.
Both of them. Neither player has drafted their hero. Yeah, we're just going to rewind.
Yep. Okay, and everything is fixed. The players have remembered their Aurelias this time. We're going into the first turn. Now, Jacob is going to have to be careful here. He's got 2 units. Well, yeah, he's actually got some forks on this draft. Jacob changing his rotation degrees, and we're going to give the 2 shield to catapult immediately. Good.
Yeah, I mean, he needs to watch out for things like this Pegasus and the Heavy Knight. I like the idea of 2 shield on the catapult. He had other options. He could have done -1 power to the Heavy Knight. I'm sure he's going to do -1 power to the Pegasus using these Apprentice Wizards down here. Honestly, Apprentice Wizard, super good 2 gold. Totally underrated. -1 power, it can stop a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, like, at this point, Well, Skyrain Pegasus can't be debuffed, right? That's the issue that we're running into now.
Right, that is
he's
definitely
going for
true.
it.
Oh, he's still going for the attack. Wow, I was not expecting that.
Oh.
But you know what? Actually, it makes sense to me. Like, what's he gonna do? The catapult
Yeah, I
can't
guess it's
attack within
fine.
one range. This is not able to shoot the Heavy Knight. So what is gonna hit the Heavy Knight? I think maybe the
Not
best
much.
option is move the Halberdier out of the way, hit it with a crossbowman, then a Sunstrike, but it's just out of range of the Grand Wizard, so it's fine.
Yeah. I think this works.
Yeah, absolutely.
For Empire. I think this works for Empire. Thinking about it, and what you could do is I'm trying to math it out and see if there's a way to kill this Heavy Knight, and I don't think there is.
I think that Jacob's just not quite covered that spot very well. What's he given the catapult? Is it +1 range? +1 power?
+1 power.
Is he after the Royal Griffin?
What I think he's doing is he's just saying, don't approach to Empire, right?
Right.
You've got the Heavy Knight in, nothing else can approach.
Just please stay away from my entire back line, because my entire army is my back line. Go away, please. And you know what? I like it. Respect. That seems like what he's built this to do.
I think it's good.
What's Spellbreaker gonna do though? Because this is a vital piece of Empire's defense. Silencing the Grand Wizard, that makes sense. Oh! But he's already used the Priest!
And here we go. It's going to be Jacob's turn looking through his moves. With Grand Wizard being silenced, that does reduce some of his options, but he's not quite out. One thing that Empire really has to keep an eye on is that any small amount of damage that is dealt can become a lot of damage very quickly with this Aurelia.
Yeah, absolutely. Sunstrike is just going to be absolutely huge this game. I think the key to Jacob's idea is that he can just destroy one big unit every round. One big threat, one at a time, and then suddenly that's game. There's nothing threatening anymore. And honestly, there's not that much to be worried about right now. I'm only scared of Aurelia, the Knight, and the Heavy Knight, and maybe the Griffin, if I was Jacob. So just take those out one at a time. Don't let them become a problem. If you're sitting back, then you have the ability to do that. You just don't have to worry so much.
Agreed. Gonna give the shield to the Grand Wizard. I think that's for the best. Because that's gonna protect him against a Tactician Skyrain.
Yeah, absolutely. +1 power on the Pegasus would be really dangerous. It would be a 3 power Pegasus against a 3 health Grand Wizard. No one wants their Grand Wizard dying in round 1. That would just be so upsetting.
Absolutely.
Oh, and shield on the Heavy Knight. Now, normally that looks like a pretty boring move, right? But what's quite good about this is it's actually a way to block Sunstrike. Because if this crossbowman in the center were to charge at the Heavy Knight previously, the Heavy Knight would have taken 1 damage, but now it's going to take none. That means it's not going to get Sunstriked, right?
Yeah, that's right. Honestly, if I was Jacob, I'd just, skip with Grand Wizard at this point.
Yeah, I think Jacob's best bet is to wait it out until the next round, and then suddenly everything's just that little bit close to him, and he is able to just bam, 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 everything's gone.
Oh, here is something neat that I didn't realize. Angel can resurrect the priest if it dies.
Yeah, I think that might be the Angel's best resurrect target, to be honest. It can target anything
and it's all good.
5 gold or
resurrect.
less. Yeah, if the priest dies coming back with full mana, it's useful.
It's a whole bunch of extra heals. Even right now, just getting that 1 extra mana on your priest, It's a very important.
What's he given to the longbow archer? Plus one
I
range?
believe. Yeah.
So 4 range longbow archer, that's quite a lot. I think that's able to hit the elite swordsman now.
It is, but like, whatever.
I mean, I wouldn't say whatever. He's not got healing from the priest right now. And the elite swordsman has counter-strike, remember? So, that, yeah, range damage on the elite swordsman is just useful.
Elite swordsman heals 1 every turn. He's
It
fine.
does. You're not wrong. He's able to get shield 1 at the start of his turn. It's, yeah, fair enough. He's just about to heal.
Oh no, anyway. Like, cool,
not wrong
1
about
damage,
that.
Bro. Elite Swordsman's just such an underrated card, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree with you. I think it's just really solid. Counter-Strike, effectively 4 power most of the time and 4 health. Well, 5 health because of the shield. It's just a big old stat stick for 7 gold and 3 movement. And yeah, I'll just take all of that. Yes, please. That just ticks all the boxes.
And that's kind of like Arengard's specialty. They just have really solid stats on a lot of units. Things other than the knights don't really have charging. They can be sort of slow a lot of the time, but because of their general good stat line, they can easily move forward and not really worry about it. And Squire, to me, is an Arengard card that isn't getting played right now, but is like peak Arengard, because it's just good numbers, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Squire, we say in so many episodes, hey, Squire is just, it's the best card in the game, and it's a bit of a meme, but also it's kind of just true, because 2 gold, 2 power, 3 movement, 2 health, those are just strong, solid stats, and perfect representation of Arengard. So good.
Oh, yeah. And it just trades so well with every other 2 gold card in the game. It's crazy. And then we've got Shield Bearer, shielding up Aurelia. Makes sense. Because Mpire also knows that, hey, the 2 things he needs to keep alive are Heavy Knight and Aurelia. If those things die, he's in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. Those are the biggest threats on the board for Jacob. If he can take them out 1 at a time, as I said earlier, that's his best bet. So I think we need to wait till round 2, honestly, to see how much this is going to explode with Grand Wizard and Catapult on the board, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, in comes the Griffin.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. In comes the Griffin.
Oh, no, he's just put it right next to the Catapult, so it can't be shot at.
Yeah? It's like fine, though.
I'm wondering where it's going to stand next, though.
I mean, honestly, we could just Apprentice Wizard that down to 2 power, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's going to make an attack, is it? Oh! No, I see what he's setting up now.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's doing it. So what I think Mpire was going for there was the Tactician up here gives the Griffin +1 power, and then suddenly it's, well, 4 isn't even enough to kill the Catapult. Because the Catapult's got a shield.
4 is enough to kill, and this is super important. It's
the
enough to kill the
Halberdier! Yes, it is. You're so right about that. And I think, no, he's just going to attack the Catapult. Okay.
Sure.
I mean, that move makes a lot of sense to me, because he's just put the Catapult in a spot at this point where it's not really done anything all game yet. And now it's under threat. Just 1 turn next round. Off the board. It's done nothing all game.
And I think that's what Empire's going for. But let's see if that pans out for him. I genuinely don't know. Because another thing that can just happen is that Jacob just goes first and is like, oh no, anyway, Grand Wizard teleport, problem solved.
Right, of course, that's definitely something we can't neglect. Grand Wizard's teleport ability. relocate target unit within 2 range, within 3 range, within 2 range of its starting hex. It's, yeah, just move the catapult out of the way, something like that. Drop it in the corner, maybe, and then shoot.
Yeah. Just teleport it, man. I've got a bunch of crows outside, really enjoying the game right now. I don't know if you can hear them. They have been very loud.
Nothing on this end. Thank goodness.
That
Aurelia.
is good.
Oh, I like that move a lot.
Wait. Oh, that's really spooky, actually.
He's setting up for kills Grand Wizard, right?
Yeah.
Or the
think so.
Angel.
Oh, this got bad for Jacob really quickly.
Broadsword on Aurelia. Aurelia is 3 power plus 2. That's 5. Angel, 5 health. Grand Wizard,
Jacob
3 health and a shield. Oh no, Aurelia even is 5 health.
Jacob? Oh boy. He's in a 4-pronged fork with his 4 most valuable units.
Yeah, that... I would be quite scared if I were him. That is unideal.
Yeah, I didn't even see Aurelia just shooting herself to the other side with the Tactician. I totally missed it as well. I don't blame Jacob for missing it either.
And I'm not sure what he can do about it. There's just... Sure, he can do damage. Oh, you know what he could do? He could teleport Aurelia, because I believe Grand Wizard... Yeah, Grand Wizard can target enemy units too. Teleport Aurelia out of the way.
Yeah? That's actually pretty good, I'm gonna be honest.
Although I'm not sure there's a decent hex in range where he could get it out of the way too.
So what I'm looking at is if the Skyrain Pegasus moves, right there. That's where to put her.
Right where?
Okay, so you see Empire Skyrain Pegasus?
Yeah.
All Jacob needs is for that thing to move, and he's good.
Right, yeah, and throw Aurelia just in the back where she can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, then the closest thing in range is Elite Swordsman.
No, it's still Aurelia.
Oh, right, he moved... I forgot Jacob moved his Aurelia for...
I think that might have been a misplay.
I think that was a mistake. If he kept Aurelia back, he could have done the teleport and been fine.
I think he's just ready to hit...
Oh, and Empire's just skipping too, like, oh gosh, that's brutal.
Oh no! This is gonna hurt real bad. What's he gonna take out
Jacob.
first? The catapult? I'm not sure that's the best choice. Okay, he's gone for it anyway. I'm sure. Like, it's Mpire, right?
Yeah, it's Empire. He knows what he's doing.
-1 power!
That's
so clutch.
That's really smart.
Angel and Aurelia survive. Yeah, the Grand Wizard is still in trouble. But Aurelia
but it didn't matter
and
because
the
the Grand Wizard's actually forked by Heavy Knight and Aurelia, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It was gonna die no matter what he did.
I didn't even see that line.
This is tough. And this is one of those things where we were talking about the whole time of, like, whoever takes the other player's most valuable pieces first. If Jacob could have taken the Heavy Knight and Aurelia before the Heavy Knight and Aurelia took his Catapult and Grand Wizard, he was going to be in good shape.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Empire found a way to take the Catapult and Grand Wizard before his Heavy Knight and Aurelia were taken.
Yeah, I think what's key that Empire has done is he's been very careful with those tiny, tiny little air pockets, as they were, like, just where he can move. He could go in any of these 3 spaces because they were next to the catapult and out of range of the Grand Wizard. So he was fine there, and he's just utilized that to throw his big units up where they are a big problem for Jacob.
Yep. He found those little zones, those little unprotected zones, and utilized them. Okay, the Counter-Strike is good. Oh, wait, I see, I see. He's using his elite swordsman to deal 2 damage.
I mean, I like it, and I think he's about to Sunstrike and kill it, but...
Yeah. Yeah, and that's good.
I'm not sure he's quite got
Because
the right damage for it, though.
He can Demon Tooth Dagger and then Sunstrike.
No, Demon Tooth Dagger is physical damage. I just checked. That'll bounce right off the armor.
Ooh, it is.
It's not quite enough.
It is.
Just not quite enough to kill that.
Yeah, that armor one really coming in. What is Empire's play?
I think what Empire needs to focus on now is just taking out the rest of the big stuff, right? The Angel and Aurelia.
Yep.
I think once they're gone, it's over.
Oh,
the heal.
Priest
Okay.
Moving up. Yeah, Priest's being at 4 range, best healer in the game. Sometimes I keep thinking that its range is only 3 because 4 is busted.
Yeah, and just showing that right here. There's a reason this guy doesn't have allied pathing, right? We don't want him going everywhere, but 4 range, it gets right through all the way up to that Heavy Knight in the back. No more Sunstrike for him.
Yep. This is an uphill battle for Jacob right now.
Now, I think Empire's best bet here, maybe to, I don't know, do something with the Spellbreaker, like silence the Angel, or just get a little bit of pip damage with a Pegasus. Like, I wouldn't care if I were Empire to sacrifice the Pegasus to damage Aurelia, because suddenly Aurelia is in death zone.
Yeah, at this point, Empire can afford to start making some reckless trades.
+1 power on the Angel. I like it.
It makes sense. It allows him to potentially kill that Heavy
No,
Knight.
that's enough. He can kill the Heavy Knight.
Yep.
That's a 4 power Angel, -1 for the armor. That's 3, and then another 3 from the Sunstrike. That'll completely drop the Heavy Knight dead.
That'll do it.
Empire may have noticed this at this point, but yeah, he's just gonna focus on taking out the small things, making sure there's no more rubbish just running around. I have a feeling this knight up here is gonna get +1 power from the tactician just to take out that halberdier.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
Oh, resurrecting the crossbowman. I like it.
Angel Resurrect on crossbow. Okay.
You know what I really want to
good
do?
move.
I'm not sure it'd be great, but it would be fun to see, is the crossbowman charge that Spellbreaker and kill it.
I think that's what he should do.
Absolutely.
I think it's good. I think that's very good.
That crossbowman does have to watch out, though. The Pegasus is in range to snipe it.
It's not gonna do it though.
Are we getting the +1 power on the knight?
Probably.
Yeah, there it is. I imagine it's gonna say, yeah, well, +1 power right there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Bye,
I mean,
halberdier.
at this point, you just crossbowman take out the Spellbreaker.
Yep, I like that. That's just the fun thing to do. There it is.
Yep, just get rid of that.
As we must have once per video, the commentator's curse.
Ha! Yes! Apprentice Wizard, Peen's Royal Griffin. Yeah, Halberdier's toast. Very unfortunate.
There he goes. And you know what, actually? I think the Apprentice Wizard might have been in range to have stopped that, and we didn't even see.
Oh, Apprentice Wizard was, actually.
What a shame.
Whoops. Yeah, no, we all missed that.
Maybe we shouldn't have commentated on it. Maybe we should have let them do it their way.
Yes, definitely. Because we totally have control over what happens in this game.
Hey,
Sometimes
mystical
it feels
forces
that
and
way.
all that.
Sometimes it feels that way. Aurelia doing her sun striking.
I like it. I think she should combine that if Jacob's being sensible, because Sunstrike is combinable.
Yeah. Which is just wild, honestly.
I mean, yeah, Aurelia can fly around dealing damage all over the place. It just feels so perfectly angelic, which is exactly what she is. She's an angel, right? And
Yep.
just flying around, Sunstrike, bam, bam, bam. You're dead, you're dead, you're dead. It's a battle angel, and it fits so great for this hero. I love it.
Yeah, Aurelia's super fun. Honestly, when it comes to like game feel, Aurelia's up there with Carthul for me. Carthul's another hero that just I feel like a orc wizard shooting lightning, man. I love it.
Because that's what you are. Hey.
Yeah. I
There
love
she
being the
goes.
funny little green man that calls forth the thunder.
Honestly, I think that's something this game gets right all the way. The way each unit feels. Heroes especially, but just every unit feels exactly how you would thematically expect it to. And that is one of my favorite things about Legacy's Allure.
I fully agree. It's I like this game, man. What more can I say? It's just good.
It is. It's a
to
great,
play.
great game.
That's why we're here, you know?
Exactly.
This game does what we want it to do. And we're trying to fill air as Jacob gets freaking
he
slaughtered.
is just, one unit down after the other. It's pretty rough for him.
And the thing
And
is that
Empire's
it's not
full
Jacob.
skipping.
He's
Empire's
gonna full skip.
yeah,
just for
ready
the
to
style.
kill Aurelia.
The
And that,
and the thing
that's
is,
pretty much game.
is that honestly Jacob hasn't played poorly in this last round. What happened was exactly what we were talking about at the beginning. Like I said, you know, and like you said, the game's going to come down to a dance between who can take out those two priority units on the other board first.
Yeah, and it was Empire. He found those little tiny air pockets next to the catapult, and I think that's what won him the game. And
it
honestly,
really is.
That's the issue with Frontline Catapult. It's really cool, but I don't think it's quite efficient enough to justify it for this air pocket reason.
I agree. I'm glad Jacob went for the strat because it's intimidating. It was cool to see. But you know, one thing that I really like about Legacy's Allure is just how darn fast this game played too. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
Only took about 30 minutes, and when you're looking at a war game, that's like nothing in war game time. You try one strategy, it doesn't work out, you say, all right, cool, game 2, let's run it again. You try something different and see how that works for you.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. This game can just be taken anywhere you want. It's pretty small. I know we're playing online right now, but when we have this thing in our hands, you can take it anywhere you want. Say to your mate, hey, you want to crack out a game? Get it done, 30 minutes, an hour, and Empire's won the game.
Yep, there it is. And as we were just talking about the physical game, the starter kit box is 7 inches by 5 inches by 4 inches. You can toss it in a backpack. And if you want to pre-order your physical copy of Legacy's Allure today, just go check out our website. Links in the description. We've got the store up. For a limited time, all the Kickstarter bundles are available to pre-order, and you can order any of our products separately if you don't want to get the bundle.
Absolutely, but if you do go for those Kickstarter bundles, do remember the Ultra Knight bundle has got those sweet, sweet metal cards, our limited run.
Yep.
Oh, those... I can't wait to get my hands on those, Speed Robo. Those are going to be absolutely gorgeous, going up on my shelf as soon as I got them.
And we've only got about a dozen of those Ultra Knight bundles left because those metal cards are a limited print run of only 100 of each hero. So if you want it, you better order quick before they're all gone. Dex, commentating with you as always has been a pleasure. And
it's been great,
great to see And it was great to see Jacob back with the titan of the game, Empire.
For sure. Thank you all very much for watching. Check out our links in the description below, and have a lovely day.
Bye.